I was just talking with a friend who's done RC in the community for a long time, and I he'd mentioned maybe going over to the valley and doing some racing, which is cool. And then he just kind of he's been down the road of red tape and zoning, and he's built tracks and hosted all kinds of events and been in the hobby for a long time, and he hasn't run in a long time. So I was just over there just now with Icepick, showing him the problem with my fifth scale, and we just got to talking, and basically it made me really want to try running a car on a track and seeing what it's like when cars really hook up. We're just relegated to bashing, being on dirt where things are spinning out, and two different worlds probably, being on a track as opposed to just going to your random spots and bashing with your buddies. So two different worlds, and I'd like to respect both worlds. So I'm going to drop a motor in the truggy and see if we can get to a race at some point before winter happens. We'll see. And figure something out once winter's here. I don't know. Something will be happening. This is the mountains, this is snow. But the point is, I just got hip to a lot of interesting ins and outs of what it takes to have a proper track. He told me countless scenarios with city council where they just kept throwing no's at him, and he really did made contact with all kinds of people. I know he did, and it was interesting to see how quick the no's came back and why the no's came back. So things to think about. It's putting a track in. It's a big deal. You have your places where people can just bring whatever models and just kind of do normal kind of family style bashing stuff, which is fine. Fathers and sons, that's really cool. And then you have places where races are held, and those types of places require a lot of maintenance, a lot of planning. So from what I've just been told, there's they've gone in our area right now. There is no track where a race can be held. So there's a couple in the Willamette Valley, a couple hours away. So just kind of thinking about that. Keep the nitro wheels going. It would be fun to get down on the track, man. So the problem we had today with Icepick was I did attempt to run Icepick today. Here's Icepick. It seems that I got my gas going in the opposite direction. I got gas coming out my carburetor. It's coming out my carburetor. It should be going into my carburetor. So I have a backup 990 Walbro. I'm gonna just swap out carburetors and make sure my gaskets are correct. I have ran this model before. I put the 990 on, and I've had some good runnings here, but lately Icepick's not starting right and running right. So I'm just gonna switch out carbs. So that's about it. I I tried to track down the doctor today. He's in Portland, so I couldn't. Tried to track down my running buddy, but I couldn't quite hook up with him today. So that was it. Some days are like that. You'll get your model will run for just a couple minutes. Icepick did fire up. I was just there in the middle of a place, pulled on Icepick for a while. Been there. We've all been there. And then just chilled out, had something to eat, tried it again, adjusted the needles a little bit, and I did get Icepick to fire. Icepick did fire up, ran for a little bit, then stopped. I thought I was fouling plugs. At that point, I went over to my buddy Robert's house, and he's been in this hobby for 30 years, and we sprayed some carb spray in there, and we realized that it seemed the fuel was like going backwards. So I'm going to go ahead and address that now. So that was my attempt at running, you guys. hit running gas this weekend, so I'll get on it. I'll switch out the Walbro so we can get back to running gas and nitro. Gas and nitro. And anyways, so if I'm going to get into that right now. And that's pretty much, that was the weekend RC running. A couple fire ups. And anyways, you all have a great weekend. Peace. Be safe. My name's Craig.